Future home of is a familiar sign in growing towns. Many business owners, eager to build anticipation, will put a sign out at a construction site announcing who they are. Some even include a projected opening date. Others are so eager they put up a sign before the first dirt clod is moved, which is why driving by property where a building is being constructed and having to guess by its shape what kind of business it will be is so frustrating. Curiosity makes us wish for a sign. 770 years, that's 740 BC to 33 AD, before its construction, God put up a sign in Zion declaring future home of the Lord's church. Isaiah's second recorded message was the Lord's future home of sign. The word which Isaiah the son of Amoz saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Now it came about that in the last days the mountain of the house of the Lord will be established as the chief of the mountains, and will be raised above the hills, and all the nations will stream to it. Isaiah 2, verses 1 and 2. And many people will come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. For the law will go forth from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, and he will judge between the nations, and will render decisions for many people, and they will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not lift up sword against nation, and never again will they learn war. Isaiah 2, verses 3 and 4. In a world where constructing a church has been reduced to clearing land and building a building, it is understandable why so many misunderstand Isaiah's future home of sign. Which is why it is so very important to carefully study this text to understand exactly what God promised to build and when he was going to build it. Since God started with in the last days, that's when, verse 2, so will we. Isaiah was speaking to Judah and Jerusalem during a prosperous time, 740 BC, so it might have led some in his day to believe they were in the last days and were the embodiment of the prophecy. Except chapter 1 and the rest of chapter 2 made it very clear God wasn't talking about that generation. And considering other prophets spoke of the last days as something yet to come, from then until the Old Testament closed 300 years later with the book of Malachi, we can know it was for a future yet unrealized. But worse than the Jews of Isaiah's day thinking it was about them is how many people today think it is still in the future, and how conveniently all the signs point to it coming about now during our lifetime. That makes it worse because God's king came 770 years after Isaiah's prophecy and told us it was coming during his days, Mark 1:15. Then, just a few days after his ascension to heaven, his apostles declared the last days had come. Acts 2, verses 14 through 17. Tomorrow, we will begin looking at what was being built. But for now, thank you for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible on An American Missionary. Until next time, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.